Okay, so I was gonna make last time. Um, well, I did an analysis of the goal, but then it didn't work, so I'm just gonna do a quick one again here. So this is just a couple minutes before the goal, and we're just gonna look at it and see where this came from. I know this is a long time ago, but I don't know. It's fun. I like doing it. So there. So as we can see, there's a good little build up here. Again, though, when the ball comes in, this part cracks me up. So I noticed this because I was doing an analysis of Puncheon, but Puncheon gets the ball here, pass goes back. I don't know why those passes aren't made. But it just seems like he doesn't have the confidence to, turn on the ball, make something happen. So here we see, instead of turning and making a pass, he goes back with it, and then the ball goes out wide. When the ball comes to Joel Ward, let's see where he is right here. This is where Puncheon is. Right on that mark, or whatever you want to call it. The pass goes up to Zaha, he turns, and this part cracks me up. Just watch Puncheon here. He puts his hand up like there's going to be a pass made that way, even though these two guys are here. Puncheon needs to be coming into the ball, giving him an option. He has no options. He's like just a lone man out there by himself. So he tries to go around, gets the ball stolen, and the ball comes. Nice little pass up. So right here, when the ball comes in, Luka is covering back for Ward. Ward is, you can't even see him, he's up here. Puncheon's right here. So we only have 1, 2, 3 at the back. So Luka's taking the spot of the right back. He's going to cover back, and then, yeah, we'll just go from there. So Arnautovic gets a touch, but he's strong on the ball, makes a nice little turn. By this time, Ward has come back, and Ward's gonna cover his assignment here. He's gonna go with this run down the side. Luka is stepping in. Is gonna step up here, and this is where Joe Allen's gonna go. So there's a miscommunication between these two here. And if you see while you watch, right here, the ball goes by, Luka gives him some space because Ward's coming through, and right here you can see, and if you watch Luka, he's always checking what's around him, what's going on. He checks right here. This is when he looks. This is what he sees. If you can imagine putting yourself in his shoes. He looks over and he sees Puncheon, Joe Allen, literally side by side. Puncheon's not he's not attacking the ball or anything. So Luka sees that. In other videos we saw before, we saw that Luka always wants to put pressure on the ball, so he's going to come up to the ball. He looks, sees that, and so he's like, okay, here I go. But for some reason, Puncheon decides, even though, if you look at who has, who can see what's going on better here. I imagine, I'm gonna do something that's dumb, I guess, but you can imagine, how well you can see with your peripherals and where you're seeing. That's probably what he's seeing. So I guess they're both unaware of each other, but if we look back a bit here, like, if you fall through, look at Joe here. He's going to come through. So this is definitely Puncheon's man. Unless he communicates to Luca that I'm going to come up here, you need to take this man. But he has to communicate it because right now, Luca's not watching that. He's not paying attention. He has his man. He's covering there. He only ever sees Joe Allen right there, but he sees Puncheon right beside him, right? So, and he's not going to just track back. I think he just assumes that Puncheon's going to cover him because we're kind of in like, it's just, we don't have our shape right now, and things like that. But like, Puncheon sees Joe Allen go by him, and there's no communication. For someone that was pointing the entire time. And then like, right now, by now, Luca's not going to see where Puncheon is at all. But Puncheon can see where Luca is. So someone, I don't know whose fault it is. You can obviously tell I'm blaming Puncheon, but right there, someone has to take that. MacArthur maybe is out of position, but you know, that happens. Like, we were attacking, whoops, darn it. We were attacking. So the pass comes in, and like, honestly, and as you can see here, the pass goes, and Puncheon, he's just going to watch the rest of the time. Not that he's ever going to get there. And I'm not totally, like, I think Van Aanholt, we know he's not the best defender in the world, but I think he does a good job here. But, again, we can see the lack of communication because Delaney's just going to sprint all the way back. He's going to sprint all the way back, and then this area is wide open. And someone has to communicate. Some would argue that Van Aanholt, but he's busy marking the man. I mean, I would argue it's the goaltender in this situation. He has to be aware of what's going on and has to communicate, but he's just so focused on the ball, obviously, that he doesn't communicate at all. No one communicates where the other man is. Tompkins doesn't seem to see him either. I mean, it's a really nice run by Joe Allen because he stays out of everyone's vision, but easily someone should have picked him up. So now we're going to get, a lot of people said it wasn't Hennessey's fault, the goal, and it's not, like, I wouldn't say it's his fault. I mean, that's a hard shot to stop, but he does something really weird here. As we see the ball come in, and this is something I've said about Hennessey versus Mandanda. Mandanda's positioning is just it's like night and day. Like, his positioning is so much better. So right here, they say with a goaltender, you can like tie a string and he should move with the ball. So right here, he's coming up close, he's cutting off an angle, he's maybe too far up, but we'll watch, he sticks with where the ball is here. The ball is there, he's just staying with it, but then the pass goes out. But if the shot comes in, and I've looked at this in a lot of different places, I never played goalie or anything like that since I was 9. But if a shot's coming from the top of the box, usually the goalie wants to be in this area here, depending on what kind of keeper they are, and they want to follow the ball, right? Like to cut off the angles. But if we watch what Hennessey does here, he just keeps backing up. So by the time the shot comes, he's literally almost on his goal line. So he's not cutting off any type of angle. It's free range, right? Like, if he gets up into this area, he can cut it off much better. But here, he has much further to go to either side. So another problem here is he just keeps backing up. So when the shot comes, he's not in a ready position. Usually goalies jump up, set on their feet, and then they can spring either way. let's watch Hennessey here. He's backing up. He's backing up. He knows the shot's going to come, right? He sees this pass, and he knows the shot's going to come. So right here, he should be jumping and preparing. But he just keeps backing up. So when the shot comes, he's on his, right here. He's on his back foot, left back foot with his right foot raised. So when he does go for it, he gets no spring right here. Both his feet are in the air at this point in time. So all he can do is just fall to one side. Just falls. And here I'm going to fast forward it to the other view here of this. And you'll see what I'm talking about even more. It's just frustrating because I'm not saying he should make that save. Like, that's a difficult save to make. But he's got to at least give himself a chance. This one's the better view. So right here, Hennessey is doing a good job of cutting off the angle. You can see he's far enough up, so if a shot comes, you know, like, it's going to be difficult to get that into the corner. But the pass comes out, he keeps on backing up. So right here, this is probably like a good spot, and the ball comes over. So instead of backing up, Hennessey, I'm just going to show you where he is. This is where Hennessey is right now, if you can remember this spot. So if we look at these lines, he's just inside that darker green line. So we're going to remember that. Now, if the ball comes over here, and if he just moves with it a little bit, maybe to like this area here, and keeps it so he can cut off the angle. But no, instead, he backs up, right to there. Like I said, he's backing up. He can't get any spring or jump or anything like that. So the ball comes through, and now let's remember where Hennessey was. Hennessey was right here, where if he moves backwards like that, and then the shot comes in like this. He was here, so if he even moves with the ball sideways, even if he doesn't back up so much, and that shot comes in, look at where he would be compared to where the ball crosses the 6-yard box right there. That's when it's crossing. Oops. This spot right here. So it's about 1 or 2 steps to the side, and he would have been right where the ball comes through. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not a bad goalie. He can make really good saves, but his positioning is just awful here. Even if he stayed in the same spot, he still could have made that save. But that's where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be, instead of backing up, you're supposed to be making this, right? But he just backs up, and then this, if we just keep watching this goal here, oops, this doesn't really even go into the corner. I mean, it's not the most well-placed shot. I mean, right here, like, there's a decent distance. It doesn't miss it by much. But it's because of the moves that he's made that he's now in this position that he can't quite reach the ball as it goes in this angle here. But if he's following it, that really, he could have given himself a chance to save that. Also, like I said, because he's backing up, look at this. He gets the shot, I guess he can't really see, but he's still backing up. his foot gets planted here, and he can't spring because he's only on his left foot. He's backing up, backing up. Both feet are like in the air here. While the shot's coming, both feet are in the air, but not in a position to jump either way. And he gets no spring. He literally just falls. He doesn't actually go anywhere. I'm going to show you. So when he starts to dive, this is where his feet are. Alright. When he starts to dive, that's where his feet are. Oh, the camera's going to move. But we're going to have to remember, it's just like a foot, like a little bit in on this line, right? Let me clear this. When he lands, he pulls his legs up. Let's see. He lands here. He pulls his legs up right there. His feet were there. He ended up there. He literally got that much lateral movement on his dive. He's never going to make a save if you're only getting that much lateral movement, if you're not prepared for the shot, if you're not in the right position, if no one's tracking the guy. Just so many things went wrong here. I mean, like I said, it's not Hennessey's fault, but his position can be so much better. Wasn't even that good of a shot. Wasn't that hard of a shot. Wasn't that well placed. But yeah, well, let me know what you think. Like I said, if we start Hennessey again, ugh, it's just the worst. It has to be anyone else but Hennessey and Puncheon. For me, those two players are just bringing us down. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you think.